mask never left.
The Expressional.
They changed the uniform, but did they change the message? There's a photograph, one photograph, that was taken in Washington, D.C., not during the Civil Rights Movement, not during the era of Jim Crow, not in 1925 or 1955 or even 1965. A black woman sits alone on the metro train. Around her, dozens of masked white nationalists. She is seated. They are standing. No words are exchanged. None are necessary, because history already knows the language. Today, hundreds of masked members of the Patriot Front marched through the nation's capital during America's 250th Independence Day celebration, carrying flags, marching in military-style formation, and concealing their identities behind white face coverings. The demonstration was protected under the First Amendment. Law enforcement monitored the march, and no widespread violence was reported. Those are the facts. But facts without history become amnesia, because America has seen this march before. Only then, the masks were white hoods. Today, they are white gators. Yesterday, they burned crosses. Today, they march in formation. Yesterday, they rode horses. Today, they ride metro. The uniform changes. The strategy evolves. But to many black Americans, the message echoes through generations. For decades, these marches were never merely about exercising free speech. They were demonstrations of attempted intimidation, psychological warfare, public reminders of who believed they should rule and who believed they should remain beneath them. The march itself became the message. Know your place. Communities watched them pass. Parents gathered their children. Curtains closed. Hearts raced. Because terror never required violence to announce its arrival. Sometimes it's only required footsteps. That is why today's image reaches beyond the photograph, because memory has a pulse. The body remembers what the history books often summarize in a paragraph. And then there is the mask. If this is conviction, why conceal your face? If this is courage, why fear being recognized? History has shown that extremist movements often rely on anonymity, not only to shield themselves from consequences, but to magnify fear through a faceless collective. Because fear thrives when no one knows who stands behind the mask. But perhaps there is another fear beneath the cloth. Black Americans have survived what has designed to destroy them. Kidnapping, chattel slavery, the auction block, the whip, lynching trees, Jim Crow, redlining, mass incarceration, segregation, disenfranchisement. History records something undeniable. Attempts to erase black Americans have repeatedly failed. America is changing. Black Americans are changing. So are the demographics of America changing. Some extremist groups have openly described those changes as a threat to the vision of America they seek to preserve. Yet your identity depends on someone else remaining beneath you. Another person's resilience can feel like your defeat, but resilience is not oppression. Survival is not domination, and truth does not need permission to exist. So today, do not merely look at the photograph, study it, because it captures more than one woman sitting on the train. It captures two visions of America. One still marching with yesterday's fears. We are still here. Not merely surviving, but creating, building, inventing, leading, fighting in American wars, raising its children, building its railroads, harvesting its fields, laying its bricks, creating its music, transforming its culture, helping build the very nation that so often denied our humanity. There is a resilience that refuses to die. From my biblical understanding, that resilience is not accidental. It is covenant. It is the hand of the Almighty One YAHUAH preserving a people through fire after fire, generation after generation, whether one agrees with that belief or not, and another still standing after centuries of attempts to make him disappear. The masks change, the names change, the slogans change, but the question remains, why so threatened and insecure at heart? Because until the heart changes, repentance remains far and judgment near.
The Expressional.
Selah.